I cut my own hair. I did it because it was snarling in the comb. I would try to pull the comb through my hair and it was snarling. Otherwise, I would have just left it the way it was, even though it was a little too long. Yeah. Well, I don't have anyone to cut my hair, but I have Charles Toe's hair cutting scissors. He left it here, as in it's still here. So I used his hair cutting scissors that he used on my hair, and I cut it myself. And I guess the point being, I don't really want Charles Toe to cut my hair. I don't want him to touch me ever. And this way I used his scissors. I didn't get a new scissors, but I don't afford to buy anything right now, so I consider it a gift. Or if he's not alive anymore, to God, I suppose it's inherited, but I don't know that because I am alive in my own genitals and I don't know where Charles Toe is. Up to and including, is he not alive anymore? So I cut my hair, but it's too short. I like my hair long, and it is not even or anything. I just cut it off, um, like putting it over my face this way and cutting it this way, and it's not even that way. I don't know how to fix it. I don't want to go to a salon, so I'm just going to live with it. I have to use the internet. I have to post videos on the internet. So I'm going to try to do that with the hair being wet because it's not styled or anything. And I don't afford that. You are all very nice and styled people. So let's talk about hysterical. Are you a human being shunt? And who cuts your hair? Do you just illegally alive and your hair is already finished? Or do you go to a hair salon? And I don't afford it either way, and especially if you're male, because a male person would cut their hair if they had short hair on a male. You would have to cut your hair every 30 days, like paying rent. And how can you afford to pay a barber every 30 days when I've seen what you say to me and what you do in my life to myself? You don't actually have money to pay a barber to cut your hair every 30 days. And then look at how many people there are. How many barbers are there and how many males are there in the world? So is every male going to a barber every 30 days? Well, I want that money out of God this way. I want myself deceased. But I don't like my hair now. Nope, don't like it. Well, I can't help it. It was snarling in the comb. Like I couldn't pull the comb through the snarls. I had to use my hands to get the snarls apart to pull the comb through it, and that's not what a comb is for. So that's why I cut the hair. Well, so what about the females? Do they go to a beauty salon? All the females. What about Joellen? Joellen was the one who would ask me, she would invite me to her house and then ask me, your hair looks upside down. You need a haircut. Like how it's straight on the top because the roots are on the top. And then at the bottom, it would just be straight because I have curl in my hair. But it wasn't curling at the ends. So I need that part cut off. Yeah, but I don't need her to tell me that. When I get to the haircut, I'll get one. She's not hired that she's going to, tell me that I need a haircut. I don't really care. She was just a friend from gymnastics and from school. I don't actually know her another way. I didn't think anything of it because she said something to me about me personally, my hair. So when I went to the hairstylist Alan Strauss, he said, "Do you have any boyfriends?" And I was wondering if he thought that I am male and female because the female sent me there, not a male. Joellen's a female. She sent me to get my hair cut. What did he say? Any boyfriends? Do I need a male to send me to get my hair cut? He is male, the one who asked me that. Well, so you don't afford your hair cutting problem because of Alan Strauss's personality type of what kind of a hairstylist he is. Well, I've had my hair cut all my life, not just Alan. I had other hairdressers before Alan and after Alan. I had a hairdresser. I just got my hair cut in Tucson, Arizona, and then since I've known Charles Toe cut my hair because Charles Toe was controlling all the money and everything. And I couldn't go to a salon and get my hair cut, but I didn't really want to go out because I didn't like myself anymore since I knew Charles Toe. I didn't want to go to a hair salon. It was not really money to me anymore. So he just cut my hair because he was the one who was there, and he did a good job. He just cut it straight across in the back. If I was standing behind myself, I would have cut it straight across myself. But I don't actually want this problem. Okay, boss editor. There's a internet, I guess you could say, feed to the Charles Toe YouTube channel. Um, Boss editor, and he posts hair cutting in a salon on the internet. And I need him, boss editor, hairstylist, to cut my hair, but they're all males. So what I really need is a female to cut my hair. Yeah, so that's me at this point. I don't want to pay another female to cut my hair because the females who cut my hair, they're also a lot of trouble. My first hairstylist, Karen, was a female, Karen, and I don't afford her at all. I've seen a male stylist after Karen, so it's not really interesting that it's a female either. Uh, so in sequence, well, there was Karen, and then who, and then Alan. I guess I didn't know who was in between, but I've had plenty of haircuts in my life. All the time my hair is cut, I've seen it cut. I've not had, unless God doesn't grow my hair, I will see it grow. It doesn't get shorter unless I see the scissors cut my hair. Does anybody else have that? Because it's not easy to live this way around you. And you are around each other. Wow, I don't afford that. God has been doing your hair. No, I think that's money I don't afford. And it's if God is doing it for you when He allows you. If you shun and you come out of shunning, what does your hair look like? Because that's money I don't want to spend on you as God. And do you take your dogs to the groomers and they get their hair trimmed? I don't afford that dogs get their hair trimmed. And God is doing all these things because He's interested in what you want about God's motions. But what you need a death on yourself. You can't just be doing the motions over and over again. And you keep giving me money. Like, I don't know how to get money to cut my hair, to go buy me food, and to do things for myself. And you have all these things done for you. Like Mitch is the one who's giving me money. Mitch Moser, my last name was Moser before I died out of my last name. Moser is doing things with money for me right now, like buying me food. And I didn't ask him for money to go get my hair cut because I can't go out. I can't lock the door and go out and go outside of the fence and get my hair cut because this apartment is so hot. I can't leave the apartment. And I need myself deceased, and I am waiting. I mean, you don't mind that I'm still here, right? I don't mean to go off subject, but God above owes me the death. And I'm still alive, and He's not worried about the front door, but I just don't. I'm not a landlord, I'm not a door lord. So I don't think it's a good idea to be here anymore. But anyway, once I'm out of alive, that's forever. I'll never alive again and female genitals on myself. I just wanted to say it's so much trouble to look at boss editor's salon with the males cutting the females' hair and the males cutting the children's hair and the males cutting do they cut their males' hair? No, let's say it's females, right? Okay, so it's males cutting females' hair because the females don't have a penis. So that's what's wrong with the females getting their hair cut by a male. There should say no. And even some really old females, like senior females in the videos, they don't say no to the male cutting their hair. And I didn't elsewhere say no to Alan Strauss for the reason I just described, that Karen was my first hairstylist, and she's female, was a disaster. She looks like somebody named Cheryl with the last name Moser, same as myself, and but her name is Karen. So I don't want to call her Karen Moser. I don't know what her last name is. Do people get away with it? They don't have a last name. Yeah, well, if Karen doesn't have a last name, it's Moser now. That means somebody female who cut my hair named themselves Moser and went completely homeless away from myself. I don't know who or where she is anymore. I don't know where Karen went. If she's Karen Moser, that's hysterical. So I'm deceased out of my name, and I cut my own hair, and it's too short for me to tie it up, but it's illegal in the back. It's not really all straight across in the back. I don't really know what to do. It has to grow out, and maybe God will make it grow so it's a little more even, right? Yeah, but I don't have time to grow my hair. I need a deceasement. I need to don't wake up tomorrow because I don't want to be here because it's not safe, because I don't need myself. I'm making videos, but I don't need to make the videos because I am deceased right here. So who are we waiting on? Nobody who would cut my hair, am I right? I'm putting the pressure on you that somebody else owed that they cut my hair for me. If I want to cut my hair, and they should have been here about an hour ago and cut my hair. They're not here. Well, I want something for it, that somebody else didn't cut my hair and make it even. Yeah. Oh, black people's hair? That's impossible. I don't afford it. I don't afford that black people have their hair, I don't know, finished. Yeah, because like braided or uh, twisted, like twisted into like a lock on the hair, locks on the hair, or if it has like it's been long or it's short. Why isn't it just out of control and it's a problem to them mentally? Instead, they are having their hair done and they speak English, and I don't afford it because the nose of a black person doesn't speak English. My nose doesn't speak English another way, but I don't speak any other language. I would not speak at all if it was up to me because of my nose. Yeah, too late for that. Oh, I want to go fix my hair.